Hey guys! Well, this is going to be a special video because this is actually going to be the response to all the questions you asked me in the Q&A portion of my 1000 sub special video that I uploaded about 2 weeks ago. I know I've been taking my sweet time to get up there. One, I've been really wanting to get everybody's question answered, and two, I've been kind of dealing with life itself, trying to get my life situated to the point where I can record again on a daily basis. And that was taking the time itself too, and I do apologize for the length of time between the two videos, really, but this is the answer portion to all the Q&As. Now, I got a few questions on that video itself, and I'm going to try to answer them as best as I can. I got a lot of questions here. The first one is actually two questions from they're the same question from two different people. They're from SonicGo64 and EternUnique. The first question, SonicGo says he wants to know, what are the most memorable moments from all my videos that I have made on my channel? And EternUnique practically said the same question too. My most memorable moments, I was really thinking about this for the longest time, and one of the most funniest times where I would sit down and laugh so hard are moments like where I would have some sort of weird death or something breaking the game, or some sort of like an instance like this. I'll give you an example. One of my favorite moments from the Let's Plays general is during my Sonic CD LP, where I died twice in the same death animation. I'll put up a clip right here. You guys probably saw this, but like whenever I was trying to time travel, I got smushed. But the thing is, though, my time travels kept going, and it hit it right before Sonic went off the screen with his death animation, and he traveled back in time and died again because he was still in that death animation. So practically I lost 2 lives out of that. Out of that one death sequence, I lost 2 lives. I thought that was... I couldn't believe that for myself, and I'm glad I got footage of that. Another instance is when, in my Spyro the Dragon Let's Play, is whenever I died by simply falling on an enemy when I was at full health. That was one of the most memorable moments. Another part of memorable moments that I remember in particular is whenever a Let's Play comes to its conclusion, that's when I really start, remembering, that's when it becomes really memorable. And they just mean a lot to me about how much people have supported me in that said project and everything. That's another thing that is probably the most memorable. That and a couple of blind Let's Plays I've done. There were a lot of memorable moments in that, like Dead Space, Final Fantasy IX blind so far, and I'd say Mega Man X blind. That was one Let's Play that was really, really fun to go through with everybody. But yeah, I would say would be my most memorable moments out of all my Let's Plays. Alright, so from the next question, it comes from Celtics8402. He asks, what's my favorite anime show? Well, Celtics, I don't really watch too much anime. But from the shows I really do watch, I can tell you right now, my favorite would have to be Dragon Ball Z. That is probably the show I grew up with, and I love it to death. As of late, I've been watching Attack on Titan. I'm only halfway through season 1 right now. I've been watching that because everybody's been telling me that's a good show. And I watched through the whole entire series of Clannad. I mentioned this in a couple Let's Plays, how much of a beautiful show that is. And I really suggest everybody watch that when you have the time to, and have a box of tissues with you. That's really what my favorite anime is, though. I like... practically, when I was younger, I used to watch the Pokemon anime a lot. I don't really watch it as much anymore. I've been trying to catch up on the X and Y series. I really just stopped watching it all together after Diamond and Pearl. After the Diamond and Pearl saga, I just stopped watching it all together, but I came back in X and Y just to see how it is. But other than that, I don't really watch too much anime, and I know I'm going to try to change that a lot, especially now I'm really considering getting Netflix now. So I'll probably venture into the anime section a couple times. Alright, my next question is from Dr. Hatchetman X. He said, his question is, what are my top 5 classic Mega Man games? Alright, this is going to be a kind of a difficult one because as much as I like Mega Man, I don't really play the classic series too much. There's only a few games in the classic series I have played. If I had an order, number 5 would be probably Mega Man 1. Number 5 would be probably Mega Man 1. Number 4 would be Mega Man 7. Number 3 would be Mega Man 3. Number 2 would be Mega Man 2. And number 1 would be Mega Man 10. Mega Man 10 is probably the classic game that I come back to the most. I really like 10 based on how many different ways to play that particular game is. I can play as Proto Man, I can play as Mega Man, I can play as Bass, I can play as a lot of different characters. That in particular, those are the games I like. That would probably be my list. So it'd go from 10, 2, 3, 7, 1. That would be the order, the top 5 order of classic Mega Man games I would like. My next question comes from Mr. Espinoza X. Okay, he asks, what is my favorite comic book series? And what do I prefer, Marvel, DC? I don't read comic books. I'm going to say that right now. I don't really read comic books. I like superhero stuff, but I don't read comic books. So I can't really answer that. I could tell you my favorite superhero. My favorite superhero is Iron Man, which kind of also leads into another question, which do I prefer Marvel or DC? I prefer Marvel. DC, the only hero I like is Batman. All the other heroes are kind of meh to me. I don't like... This is in my opinion. I don't like Superman. I don't like Wonder Woman. I don't really like them at all. Flash is okay. Aquaman, I don't like him at all. There's a lot of... DC doesn't have many characters I like. The only one I like is Batman, because he is like a lot of Marvel characters in a way. Like, some Marvel characters have, you know, superpowers, some don't. My favorite being Iron Man. He doesn't have superpowers, he just has a high-tech suit. Batman is something I grew up with. I'm not really DC at all, but Batman is literally, he's one of my favorite characters from DC, and also my favorite villain comes from DC. It would be the Joker. I'd say Batman's the only DC character I like, really. I hate saying that, and I know I'm gonna probably upset a lot of DC fans out there, but Batman's really the only one I like. And the only the comic book series I really like is Marvel. That's it. Marvel has a lot of better characters to me. That's just me, though. Alright, for the next question. The next question comes from Luigi Mario 1991. Alright. What is my most nostalgic video game, and why do I feel nostalgic for it? Okay. Well, nostalgia? I'd say the games that give me the most nostalgia, there's 3 games in particular, actually 4 games in particular I can really think of, would be Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was literally the first video game I ever touched. Pokemon Red version, which is literally one of the first video games I've ever touched. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which was another, like, I got Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 around the same time. And my last one, I would probably say, is Yoshi's Story. That would probably be it. That and Spyro the Dragon, but that was later. That would probably be the most ones that I feel nostalgic for, because I had those games when I was, like, really young. Like, those were literally the first video games I've ever played. My first video game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I remember a lot of memories having that with that game. I will do a Let's Play of that eventually. It's just, I've always had trouble playing it, because I've always had trouble trying to beat it. And just recently, I just beat it for the first time. I know, shocker. But Sonic the Hedgehog 2 would probably be the most nostalgic I'd have, because it was the first video game I played. Coming close would be Pokemon Red, because that was really what set me off into the Pokemon universe there. I remember I got my Red version on a vacation. I got my Game Boy and my Red version on a vacation that we went. One thing in particular when I was younger was every year my parents would go to a bowling tournament that's somewhere in the country, and we'd go on vacation for like a week. I knew when I was younger that was the time when I would get. There was three particular times when I would get a gift. It would be my birthday, Christmas, and that vacation. That vacation, that my parents always got me some sort of handheld present. And when I was like 6, that particular vacation, I got a Game Boy Color and Red version. So that was probably, that's how I remember most of my nostalgia was from that. Is that because one particular reason why I got handhelds is because we'd always drive. We'd always take a rental van and never go everywhere on that trip. So that was pretty much that. That's probably what I would say would be my most nostalgic. My most nostalgic game. And the reason why I feel nostalgic for that. The next question comes from Ryza51. He's asking me if I'd ever do a Let's Race with him in the future. Let's Race. I've done a couple races and I've always lost. There's a thing you guys need to know about me. I'm not one to speedrun a game. The only game I come close to speedrunning is the Metroid games. Justin, if you can somehow, get really good at Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, sure, I'd take you on. But that's about it. I'm not really a big speedster when it comes to stuff like that. If you guys saw any of the Let's Races I've done 3 in particular. I've done one with Sonic 64 over Metroid Fusion. He beat me, even though it was really close. The second one was a Sonic Adventure 2 race with Sonic Ghost and Giratino. And Sonic Ghost wiped the floor with me and Giratino on that one. And the third one was the Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland race, which I did on League with Saxu26. And he schooled me. He was already beating the game and I was on the last world. Yeah, I'm not really good at speedrunning games. I take my time when I play games because I'm a completionist and I go at my own pace. So the only game that I can really say that I'm really decently fast at is either Metroid Fusion or Metroid Zero Mission. Justin, if you can somehow get really good at those games, yeah, I'll take you on those. Alright, my next question comes from the Light Knight. This guy in particular, I want to make a big thank you to him because he made a blog specifically about me and how much I impacted his YouTube watching life. And if you can, I'd really suggest go look at that blog. He's a really good blogger, I should say. He says, what project have I gotten the most support from? Most support. The way I define most support is, well, anybody who watches my videos is supporting me. I guess one of the most viewed projects I can really think of, and people have helped me, going through the whole entire way, would probably be my Record of Aggers War Let's Play. I mean, you guys have seen it. It's still going on right now. I'm almost done with getting to the point where I need to be in the recordings for the bonus material, but that's 140 videos. And I know after, 50 videos, people get burnt out on a series. And I'm really surprised people have stuck around for that long. and I'm really glad that people did. I would say that one would probably be the one that had the most support, because people still watch my videos after 100 videos, and it's still going on. It's probably going to be over 150 videos by the time the Let's Play is completely 100% complete. That would probably be it. That would probably be the answer right there. Is Record of Irish War was probably my most supported Let's Play. The next question comes from Neatly Great Gamer. He asked me, he says, what was it like, the feeling of getting even your first subscriber? Have you even got discouraged in making your YouTube channel? Well, Neatly Great Gamer, I've got a little backstory to tell from you. I've been on YouTube, altogether, I've been on YouTube since 2008. Around then. I used to do home movies with a bunch of friends, and after that, I was not afraid to, show myself on the internet. After I, actually shown my true self on the internet already. Because I used to do, like, short films with my friends, and we did a lot of stuff we uploaded to YouTube. I started doing reviews with my best friend Kevin on a channel called The Retro Duo Show back, I want to say 2010, somewhere around there. 2010? Yeah. We did a couple videos. That channel really isn't active anymore because me and Kevin kind of moved on with our lives. We thought we were gonna, continue that, but we kind of got sidetracked with life, and we have really no motivation to go back to that channel, even after like 3 years of that channel being inactive. But I started my Let's Plays on that channel, and after the third Let's Play I did, which was Castlevania on the NES, I said, I'm going to start my own channel. And I did. And I started my own channel, and I made an announcement video on there that I was moving to a new channel, specifically for the Let's Plays. And a lot of the people that, surprisingly enough, there was a lot of people that really liked my Let's Play portion of that review channel. So they migrated over really fast. I remember particular when I started YouTube, I got 80 subs within the first 5 days. 80 subs. That was really, really fast. And I actually got them. I remember back then on YouTube in 2011, we got awards for stuff. I got awarded like most subscribers in 1 week at one point. Like most subscribers at the time. I was on a list. I wasn't like most subscribers #1. I was like number 2,000 or something like that. But I got an award. I remember specifically I got an award on YouTube for that. I thought that was pretty cool. But have I even got discouraged on making my YouTube channel? Oh yeah, definitely. In a way, I did, because I thought for the longest time I'm kind of one person that doesn't have a lot of self-esteem in myself, and whenever I started doing videos by myself, yeah, when I started doing Let's Plays in general, yeah, I was discouraged to do it by myself, because all the videos I've ever done, I've done it with groups of people. The Let's Play is for the first time I've ever actually done a video by myself, commentary-wise. And I remember in particular one thing. My Golden Sun Let's Play. My very first Let's Play I did. Very first episode, I had commentary over it. Very shy commentary over it. Yeah. Second video, I decided, okay, I'm not going to put commentary over it. It's going to be mostly a plot. I got a comment from somebody. He said, I really liked it when you put commentary over the first episode. Could you please do that for future episodes? And they got me thinking. I was like, people do like it when I talk over the videos. So I decided to put commentary over the next video, which was the third episode. I eventually went back and put commentary over the second video, but yeah, that's what really got me, was just a comment on a video saying, I really liked it when you were talking. So that's what really sparked me into doing it, and getting my first subscriber based on that. I got a message on the Retro Duo Show that specifically, subscribed to me just for the Let's Plays. I was shocked. I was really shocked. I didn't know that people liked hearing me, of all things. I didn't think that well of myself. And when somebody told me they subscribed just because of my Let's Plays, I was really shocked and really flattered, really. It made me realize that, I really like doing this hobby. So I stuck to it, even after almost 4 years later. I'm really thankful for it. This hobby's made me meet a lot of people. And I really do enjoy that. I know I've kind of gone on too long on this subject. This is actually a good question. Alright, well, anyways, that's the answer to that question. But let's go on to the next one. The next one comes from Super Shadow FG. He's got a couple questions for me. Okay, it says, what is my favorite video game franchise, and what is my favorite game in the franchise? Okay, that's a good question, because really, I've tried to define favorites, and I can't really define favorites. Everyone knows Golden Sun Lost Age is probably my favorite game in everything. There's also another game that really comes close to that, and I'm gonna answer it with this. It's because every time I play it, I just feel this special spark. The Baten Kaitos series. A lot of people don't know this series. It's probably an underrated gem on the GameCube series. That series in particular, I was introduced to it a while ago. Back when it was one of the first games I got on my GameCube. And it's a card-based RPG. But it's a really good one. I like it so much. Most of the music that I use in these videos, for these update videos, come from the series, because it means so much to me. But there's two games in particular in the series. There's Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings of the Lost Ocean, which is the first one. And then there's Baten Kaitos Origins. Baten Kaitos Origins, I would have to say, is my favorite in the series. Because that game is what the first game should have been. It was very fast-paced. It was very, very polished. That's the best way to describe it. That is probably my favorite in that. And the story was very, very well done. And I loved it to death. I will do Let's Plays of these games eventually, but right now I was wanting to do other games right now. But that would probably be my favorite series and favorite franchise and favorite game in the series. Your second question is, which LP of yours was the most fun to do? My favorite LP that was fun to do, I would have to say my Dead Space Blind LP was probably my favorite one. My favorite one that was fun to do. Probably because I had a lot of fun, because when I was younger, I was always scared of horror games, and what really got me into getting out of it was BioShock, really. And when Kevin told me to do Dead Space, I was really skeptical at first, and then I did it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this game is amazing. He told me how good of a game Dead Space was, and I didn't believe him. And, well, as you guys can see when I did that recording, holy cow, that game was fun to play. And not only that, I always liked uploading that because I knew Kevin was watching. Kevin as in Dahaka15, if you guys get confused. There was two Kevins that I'd talk about. It was weird because I lived with two Kevins at one point. That was really confusing. But Dahaka15, he would comment on every video just to see how I would do. And he told me one particular thing whenever I was walking to school with him one day. He says, I was just sitting there giggling to myself whenever you would sit there and scream at one part during your recordings, and I would hear you in the other room. And I was just like, sorry. But yeah, that would probably be my most fun Let's Play to do. I like doing that game, and I'm going to be doing Dead Space 2 eventually. It's just, I wanted to have Kevin accompany me in that one in particular. I'll have to get him to come over to my house and for a little bit, and we'll record. Who is my favorite Let's Player? Okay, alright, there's three particular ones. I've got three people for you. Super Shadow. My first one would have to be Nintendo Capri Sun. Mainly because he's probably the most down-to-earth person I've ever, had the chance of ever watching in a video. Most down-to-earth person. He is very funny. He talks about his life. That's kind of where I get my commentary style from. And, you know, he's himself. And I really like it when he plays games, because a lot of the games that he played, I played. So it's really fun to watch him play some games like that. The second one would have to be Chugga Conroy. I like watching his stuff a lot because he's kind of like me in the sense of games, completing games and whatnot. He really takes a really good effort in all his videos. He does really good at editing and everything, making sure his videos are the top notch of content creativity on YouTube. I really admire him for all his work that he does. And you guys probably saw a lot of videos that I do where I have to do extensive edits and stuff like that. One particular is that Wind Waker bonus video I just uploaded where it was an hour and a half long, but I showed you every single detail, finding every figurine in the game. I'd have to say that that's where I get most of that ideas from. It's from him. And then finally, he's not really a Let's Player. I'm not going to count him as a Let's Player. He's more of just a walkthroughist or person who just uploads random videos on YouTube. This channel I want everybody to go check out if you like my content. His name is Omega Evolution. Omega Evolution plays a lot of the games that I do. And he's really good at all of the games that he plays. He is what I aspire to be when I upload something on YouTube. He is really good at like every game he plays. He mostly plays RPGs, but he is really, really good at them. But yeah, those are the answers to those 3 questions. Alright, the next question comes from LPR Reviews, Focus Gaming on Metroid. He asks, how do people not like my videos? Honestly, I can't tell how people even like my videos in the first place, I guess, really, because I didn't think they were that great. I guess I'm too modest in a way. But honestly, I can't really answer that question. That's kind of a question if I say something makes me look like I'm stroking my own ego, really. So, really, I can't really answer that question for you, and I'm sorry about that. But anyways, the next question comes from SPT Kira. He asked the same question I asked that was asked earlier about what my favorite game and game series is, but he asks another question that says, also, what's your favorite Pokemon and what do you think of Eevee? Favorite Pokemon? Well, there's over 700 of these creatures. I would have to say my favorite Pokemon would have to be Typhlosion, because Gen 2 was honestly one of my favorites, and Typhlosion was honestly my favorite like starter evolution all the way through. So I'd have to say Typhlosion is my favorite one, because he's the only starter that's pure fire. He has awesome attacks like Eruption and stuff like that. And honestly, I'd have to say Typhlosion. Typhlosion's my favorite Pokemon. And what do I think of Eevee? Well, Eevee evolves in a lot of my favorite Pokemon, like Espeon, Glaceon, and even recently Sylveon. I mean, and Jolteon too. Jolteon's awesome. Eevee has a lot of awesome evolutions, and I love every single one of them. So I'd have to say Eevee is a very unique Pokemon, and it's very awesome. That's really all I can say. Okay, and the final question that I have on here is from Universe Arcana. He asks, if I could meet my favorite video game character, what would you do and say? Well, that's actually a hard question. I'm not very sociable. You guys probably know that too much. I'm not really sociable at all. I don't know, I'd be really kind of shy to talk to them, but once I get to talk to them, I couldn't shut up. Most of my friends know that. I can't shut up once I get to know somebody, and I'll keep talking to them. And I guess the best reason I would do is I would just have them be my friend, essentially. I would do stuff with them, like what friends would do. because, well, they're an inspiration to me. Video game characters are an inspiration to me. They inspire me to have such a big imaginative mind, and they help me through a lot of times in my life, essentially. When the bad times happen, I always just pop in a game, and they would, help me, like a good friend would do. But with that, that's all the questions I've got. I want to thank everybody who submitted a question. I had a lot of questions, and I know this video is going on for a very long time. But I really want to thank everybody for submitting a question, and I tried to answer it as best as I could. I'll probably do another one of these sometime in the future, and if you guys want to ever ask me a question, feel free to ask in a comment, and I will answer to the best of my abilities. But at the end of this video, I have one special surprise for you guys. This is something I'm going to be working on. This is another project that I'm going to be working on. This project will not happen until probably September, October. But this is a project I was wanting to do. So I hope you guys are getting excited for this project, and I will see you guys in the next video I do. See you guys later.